dear students, here we are back with another episode of electricity, its heating and magnetic effects. এটা তোমাদের ক্লাস 8 এর চ্যাপ্টার কিউরিওসিটি বুকে। তো আমরা প্রথম দিন জাস্ট বেসিক্যালি কিছু জিনিস পড়ে গেছিলাম, যে বেসিক কনসেপ্ট অফ হিটিং ইফেক্ট অ্যান্ড magnetic effect of electric current. So today we will be moving towards the detailed concept of electromagnets. আমরা আগের দিনও ইলেকট্রোম্যাগনেটস কিছু কিছু পড়েছিলাম, তবে আজকে আমরা যেটা পড়বো সেটা হচ্ছে কি ইলেকট্রোম্যাগনেটস এর উপরেই পুরোটা এপিসোড থাকবে এবং ইলেকট্রোম্যাগনেটস এর কি কার্যকারিতা, কি করে তৈরি করা হয় এবং তার কি কি উপকার হতে পারে আমাদের জীবনের রিয়েল লাইফে, আমরা সেই বিষয়ে পড়বো। So the learning objectives which comes from this episode will be, students, you will be able to explain the concept of electromagnetism at the end of this episode. Students will be able to understand the working principle of electromagnets. আমরা যদিও fun with magnets ও কিছুটা electromagnets সম্পর্কে জেনে এসেছিলাম। This is the chapter we are talking about, right? That electricity can produce both magnetic field and also give heating effect. তো আমরা আজকে magnetism কে তুলে এনেছি এবং magnetism এর যে part electromagnet will be discussing on that. So electromagnet, the first thing comes as a definition. An electromagnet is a temporary magnet made by passing electric current through a coil of wire wrapped around an iron core. It acts like a magnet only while current flows. এটা ততক্ষণই ম্যাগনেট হিসেবে বিহেভ করে as long as the circuit is complete. তার মানে কি, switch is on. The moment you switch it off, it will lose its magnetism instantly and will no more remain as an electromagnet but a simple magnetic substance. Iron একটি magnetic substance তোমরা জানো, but not a magnet. Iron is attracted by a magnet but not a magnet. Plastic is a non-magnetic substance. It doesn't behave as a magnet, it neither behave as a magnet nor it is attracted by a magnet. তো আমরা কি কনসিডার করি, আয়রন ইজ এ ম্যাগনেটিক সাবস্টেন্স এবং আয়রনকে আমরা কোনো একটা পিস অফ আয়রনকে আমরা যদি কোনোভাবে ইলেকট্রিসিটি পাস অন করে ইফ উই ক্যান জেনারেট ম্যাগনেটিজম দেন ইট উইল বি নোন অ্যাজ অ্যান electromagnet. Important features of electromagnets. It is a temporary magnet, as I have said earlier also in my last class also. Works only with electric current. It will work as long as electricity is passed through it. Can be switched on and off. এটা আমাদের সবথেকে উপকার হয় যে আমাদের যখন দরকার তখন we can switch it on and make it an electromagnet, and when the necessity is over we can switch it off. Strength can be controlled. Strength কে control করা যায় by minimizing the number of coils. You can minimize the strength of the electromagnet. By increasing the number of coils, you can increase the strength of the electromagnet. So this is a very good feature of electromagnet, usually made with an iron core. ওই যে বললাম iron is a magnetic substance, so iron will be used as the core substance for making electromagnet. So working of an electromagnet will be explaining that when electric current flows through a coil wire, it creates a magnetic field around the wire. Inserting an iron nail inside the coil makes the magnetic field much stronger. এবার যদি শুধুমাত্র ইলেকট্রিক কয়েলের ব্যাপারে না ভেবে আমরা যদি ইলেকট্রিক কয়েলের মধ্য দিয়ে একটি আয়রনের একটি ছোট্ট বার ঢুকিয়ে দিই, then it will be a stronger electromagnet. Electromagnet is a temporary magnet. A temporary magnet is a magnet that acts like a magnet only for a short time. An electromagnet is called a temporary magnet because it loses magnetism whenever current stops. আমরা আগের ক্লাসে সেটা মুখে বলেছিলাম. Now we'll be giving you some features that how to define that electromagnet is a temporary magnet. So what is the procedure of making an electromagnet? We'll be wrapping an insulated wire around an iron nail. Though not iron nail, take an iron piece, a bar of iron, a small piece. Connect the wire to the electric cell, bring iron pins near the nails and we will observe that the pins are getting stuck to the magnet, the newly formed, the just formed magnet. So the key observations that we can find from here are that pins stick only when the current flows. The compass needle moves near the coil. The iron coil increases magnetic strength. More the number of coils, more will be the magnetic strength. Magnetic effect disappears after disconnecting the battery, that is after switching it off. The moment you break the circuit, the moment you lose the electromagnetism. Electromagnetism means the magnetism that arises from electricity. So since we are talking about magnets, there must be some poles. আগে আমরা পড়েছি magnets এ আমরা পড়েছি that there are two poles of a magnet. So electromagnet will be having the same thing only, a south pole and a north pole. So every magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. So electromagnets will be no different. They too will be having north pole and south pole. Some uses and applications of electromagnets. Electromagnets are used in electric bells, loudspeakers, electric motors, fans, magnetic cranes, etc. So magnetic crane, আমরা আগেও বলেছি যে magnetic crane is used as a powerful electromagnet to lift heavy iron and steel objects, mainly from the garbages and wastage in the areas of industries. অনেক ইন্ডাস্ট্রি অনেক ওয়েস্টেজের সাথে খুব আমাদের গুরুত্বপূর্ণ কিছু প্রোডাক্টসও চলে যায়, তো সেগুলোকে রিকভার করার জন্য উইল বি ইউজিং electromagnets in the cranes. So the advantages are, it is very easy to control, electromagnets are very easy to control, and it has strong magnetic force, it can be turned on and off and useful in industries and machines. So you have to learn one question from here. Question may come as, what is the difference between permanent magnet and electromagnet? So you will be comparing permanent magnet, always magnetic. Permanent magnet সব সময় ম্যাগনেটিক থাকে, তোমরা পড়ে এসছো না ইউ শেপ ম্যাগনেট, বার ম্যাগনেট, those magnets are always magnetic. They do not need electricity to behave as a magnet, cannot be switched off. Magnet কে আমরা কি করে সুইচ অফ করবই বা কি করে? So they are behaving as magnet always, and electromagnet are temporary magnets, they are not permanent, works only with the electric current, ততক্ষণই কাজ করে যতক্ষণ electricity is passing on through it. Strength can be adjusted, ওই যে বললাম strength can be increased and also decreased depending on the number of coils, strength of current, কি রকমের স্ট্রেংথে তুমি কারেন্ট পাঠাচ্ছ সেই ইলেকট্রোম্যাগনেটের মধ্য দিয়ে। So I will be providing you some questions, prepare it in your home and do share in the comments whether you have any doubts or not. So we will be able to solve them in our next classes. So these are for practice purposes also. Define an electromagnet, I have already given you. Why is an electromagnet called temporary magnet? এটাও তোমাদেরকে বলা হয়েছে এবং দেওয়াও হয়েছে। Who discovered the link between electricity and magnetism? Mention two uses of electromagnets. So these are all things that you can practice in your home, but do remember that without the observation under your teacher or any guardian, do not perform anything related to electricity, do not perform any experiment related to electricity. The ones that you can do the least is using a battery. So let us conclude this, and what is the learning outcome of today's episode, of today's learning? We have learned that electromagnets are important devices that can convert electric energy into magnetic force. They are controllable in nature, and it also makes them extremely useful in modern technology in industries, since the magnetism provided by electromagnets can be controlled according to our will, according to our wish. We can increase it on our demand and also decrease it on our demand. So it is very useful, even more than the ones which provide permanent magnetism. So this is what we have learned, and we will be learning the rest of the chapters in the next episodes. So thank you students.